In every pilot's logbook, there are firsts and milestones. First flight, first solo, first cross-country, passing a flight test to get your first license. This flight is another milestone in my logbook. My first filed solo IFR flight since getting my instrument rating. And as you'll see, mistakes were made. This video is a debrief of the flight and the radio calls so I can learn from those missteps. As every pilot should know, there is always more to learn. There is always a need to tighten procedure, but there is always the element of us being human and imperfect.
Oshawa ground, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform at Tango 1 requesting taxi to the main apron for run-up.
Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, Oshawa ground, morning, taxi Delta.
Taxi Delta, main apron, Mike Victor Uniform, thank you.
Bit of a quiet day here today.
It is. Oh, Julie Jones, this is where it gets tough. So I filed IFR so that it'll be easier getting through Montreal airspace.
Yes.
This is my first IFR plan and readback.
Okay.
On my own without someone helping me to say, coaching me along. And I don't know if they're going to accept the route that I've planned, or if they'll come back and say amended route.
And who do you talk to about this?
So I talked to ground here in Oshawa first.
Ground here is lovely, and I already heard the person who is speaking, so
yeah.
he will kindly walk you through it.
Yes.
Oshawa Information Golf. Weather at 1500 Zulu. Wind 350. At 13. Gusting 19. Visibility 9er. Sky clear. Temperature -20. Dew point -27. Altimeter 3046. Approach. RNAV runway 30. Landing and departing runway 30.
I guess I have to do this.
Yes, you do. You can do it.
Oshawa ground, this is Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform on the main apron with Information Golf.
Mike Victor Uniform, Oshawa ground.
Oshawa ground, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform. I'm looking for my IFR clearance to Mirabel, and this is my first IFR solo, so if you'd go easy on me, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, no worries. Unfortunately, they've changed your entire routing, so there's
Excellent.
a couple of points we're going to need a readback. You got a pen handy there?
Ready to go, Mike Victor Uniform.
All right, Mike Victor Uniform, Oshawa ground clears you to the Mirabel Airport via the Oshawa 6 departure. Then it's Talib, and I'll spell that, Tango, Alpha, Lima, Echo, Bravo. Then joining the Tango 781 to position Tiget, spelling Tango, India, Golf, Echo, Tango. And then Miglo, Mike, India, Golf, Lima, Oscar. We're almost there. We're joining the Tango 725 from Miglo to position Mitig. I'll spell that, Mike, India, Tango, India, Golf. And the squawk is 2266.
Charlie Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform is cleared to Mirabel Airport via the Oshawa 6 departure to Taleb, Tango 871, Tiget, Miglo, Tango 725, Mitig, and then Mirabel.
Thanks. Just you keep on saying the Tango 871. It's the 781.
Oh.
Tango 781 from Talib.
Tango 781. Sorry about that. Mike Victor Uniform.
Always Mike Victor Uniform. That is now correct. Thank you. It is Information Golf, runway 30. You ready for taxi?
I'm going to have to reprogram the panel, and I will contact you when I'm ready.
Roger.
Oshawa ground, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform in the main apron, ready to taxi.
Mike Victor Uniform, Oshawa ground, runway 30. Taxi via Alpha, Bravo, cross runway 23. And then contact tower 120.1 holding short of runway 30.
Alpha Bravo, cross 23, contact tower holding short 30, Mike Victor Uniform. Oshawa Tower, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform holding short 30 on Bravo for departure.
Mike Victor Uniform Tower at Bravo, line up and wait, runway 30.
Line up and wait 30, Mike Victor Uniform.
Mike Victor Uniform Tower, contact Toronto Center 133.4 through 1,500 feet, wind 350 to 11 gusting 16 from Bravo, clear takeoff runway 30.
Clear takeoff 30, contact Toronto Terminal on 133.4, clearing 1,500 feet, Mike Victor Uniform. Airspeed's alive, 1532. Toronto Terminal, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, climbing through 1500 on the Oshawa 6 departure.
Mike Victor Uniform, identified through 1,800, climb 5,000.
Climb 5,000, Mike Victor Uniform.
Mike Victor Uniform, when ready, turn right, direct Talib on course.
Turn right, direct Talib on course, Mike Victor Uniform.
Mike Victor Uniform, contact Toronto Center 134.25.
134.25, Mike Victor Uniform. Toronto Center, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, 3,600 climbing.
Cessna Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, Toronto Center, good morning. You're identified. Proceed direct Miglo, climb 7,000.
Direct Miglo, climb 7,000, Mike Victor Uniform. So they completely changed. They added a whole pile of stuff, and then as soon as we got in the air,
You went back to the original plan.
yep.
I wonder why.
They just, I don't know.
So each of the, so I can ask questions now?
Yep.
So each of the acronyms, labels, whatever.
Yep.
Big, low.
Yep.
Are they all waypoints?
They are GPS waypoints.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
I assume so.
And so I filed IFR, even though it's a blue sky day. I filed IFR because going through Montreal is going to be a little bit more difficult, and I just wanted to be in their system. And so probably that beginning route that they gave us was to keep us out of other people's way.
Good morning, it's Golf Tango Echo Whiskey with you through 8.5 for 1,000. We're on course.
Bravo, Golf Tango Echo Whiskey, Toronto Center, you're identified, altimeter 3047.
047, Tango Echo Whiskey.
Would have been to keep us out of other people's way, and then once we're in the air, they just decided that
There's no one there.
there's no one there, so we can. Mike Victor Uniform level 7,000.
Mike Victor Uniform, thank you. The Peterborough altimeter pre-announcement 3043.
3043, Mike Victor Uniform. Slightly terrifying for my first solo IFR departure and planning.
Why so?
Well, because you want to get it right, and I didn't have, an instructor sitting beside me. As much as I studied for an entire year almost, and trained and worked through, there's still that, little bit of, oh, am I going to get it? Am I going to completely flub it? And I did flub the readback because they completely changed my plan. And so my readback was a little bit wrong. There was one point that I could not get correct. We're not going to fly it anyway. But I'm glad I did it on a blue sky day where my workload is a little bit lower.
Yes.
You know, I didn't want to start flying IFR on days where I was climbing through clouds and having to manage everything.
It's like everything though, right? It's practice.
It's practice. It is all about practice, and it's learning. So the little sticker in my book that says I can do this really just says you've still got a lot of learning to do and a lot of practice, constant practice to make.
I noticed though that you did take off the R.
Oh yeah. So there used to be when I was training, I had a sticker here that reminded me of this, and I think I've got it down now at this point. So we're off to Mirabel in Montreal to do a practice approach. We're going to land, and this really was just a flight to shake out my IFR skills.
Mike Victor, uniform, contact Montreal Center now, 13505, good day.
13505, Mike Victor uniform. Montreal Center, Foxtrot, Mike Victor uniform, level 7000.
Foxtrot, Mike Victor uniform, Montreal Center, good day. The Trenton altimeter is 3045.
3045, Mike Victor uniform.
Montréal à l'auge à 7958, niveau de vol 230 Yankee.
7958, centre de Montréal, allô? Pour Montréal, plus tard, là, ce sera la piste 24 gauche, et tout Yankee.
24 gauche, 7958.
Mike Victor uniform, switch to my frequency of 134.67.
134.67 for Mike Victor uniform. Montreal Center, Foxtrot, Mike Victor uniform, level 7000.
Mike Victor uniform, Montreal Center, roger, thank you. Kingston altimeter is 3042.
3042, Mike Victor uniform.
Victor uniform, contact Montreal Center 134.907.
134.907, Mike Victor uniform. Montreal, this is Foxtrot, Mike Victor uniform, level 7000.
Foxtrot, Mike Victor uniform, Montreal Center, roger. Mirabel in range is Mike, runway, nope, disregard. Mirabel in range is Foxtrot, runway 24.
Foxtrot, runway 24, Mike Victor uniform.
It feels so long until we get there, though.
Yeah, but so I had looked at the weather on here because I've got this machine.
Yeah.
And it already determined that we were going to be on 24, so I've done my initial briefing of how to get into runway 24. But he's just confirmed, which is great, that I can expect runway 24. With the wind, we are going to have to buy fuel in Montreal. Ah!
Dag nabbit.
Yeah.
What is the current temperature outside?
Minus 16.
Not so cold then.
No.
Mike Victor uniform, Montreal altimeter 3027.
3027, Mike Victor uniform.
Mike Victor uniform, contact Montreal terminal 12465.
12465, Mike Victor uniform. Montreal terminal, Foxtrot, Mike Victor uniform, level 7000.
Mike Victor uniform, Montreal terminal, Montreal altimeter 3027. Proceed direct to Enara, plan the ILS on 24 in Mirabel, information hotel.
Proceed direct, Enara, expect 24, Mike Victor uniform.
Mike Victor uniform, descend 4000.
Descend 4000, Mike Victor uniform.
Did we have more wayfinding spaces, though, too, or? Are we just now skipping them?
We're now skipping them.
Okay.
So I've briefed the approach like a dozen times.
Yes. And?
I think I've got it under control.
Okay.
I've briefed it a dozen times and I've got it under control.
Yes, your calls to leave were in a much quieter airport with someone you already know.
Yeah.
Jesuit 59, procédez direct box en route. Direct box en route, Jesuit 59. Mike Victor Uniform and narrow transition, you're cleared ILS runway 24 approaching Mirabel.
Cleared ILS 24 approach, Mike Victor Uniform. RNAV approach.
638, contact Boston Center 1357. 1357, Jazz 638. Provincial 2540, contactez le centre de Montréal 13235. 3235, provincial 2540, bonne journée. Bonne journée à vous.
Cleared RNAV approach 24. Did I say ILS?
Yes, you said ILS.
Shit.
What does that mean?
That's a different approach.
That you didn't prep for?
Wait, now I've got to make a call.
Jesuit 59, direct Albany en route. Direct Albany en route, Jesuit 59.
Montreal Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform. I'd like to confirm that I'm cleared RNAV approach runway 24 Mirabel from Enera.
Mike Victor Uniform, no problem. In that case, you're cleared INAV runway 24 approach via Enera.
Mike Victor Uniform, thank you. Yeah, he wanted me on a different approach, but that's not the one I prepped.
Okay, but should you not be able to adjust?
I should be able to adjust, but I don't want to go. I don't want to use the ILS.
What's the ILS?
So it's a radio. So there's a radio wave that comes out here to try to get you to funnel,
413,
and then there's a radio wave this way that funnels you. And
Canada 413, Montreal departures identified, climb 7,000. Up 7,000, Canada 413.
Mike Victor Uniform, start the descent at 3,000 at this time, and then once you're at 3,000, the altitude is going to be at your discretion there for the approaches for traffic purposes.
descending 3,000, Mike Victor Uniform.
This morning, Canada 321, 1,300, climbing 5,000.
I had just set that up.
Departures, good day, radar identified, climb maintain 7,000.
I maintain 7,000, Canada 321.
Canada 305, contact Montreal Center 126.57, good day.
12657, Air Canada 305, good day. On monte à 6000 pieds, Québec, Arizona.
Mike Victor Uniform, Tower 19-1.
Tower 19-1, Mike Victor Uniform, bientôt. Mirabel Tower, Foxtrot, Mike Victor Uniform, RNAV 24.
Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform, Mirabel Tower, good afternoon. Wind 230 at 11, gusting 18, altimeter 3021, number 1.
3021, number 1, Mike Victor Uniform. Glide slope is in. Thanks are on both. Everything's in, everything's on. Locked. Carpet on, mixture rich.
Wheels are down.
We're on the glide slope. The wheels are down. Yes. And we are number 1. Still no clearance. Should pass Durgo at 1600. I am the white line. I am a little bit high. Okay, we're still within margin. Mike Victor Uniform passing Durgo.
Mike Victor Uniform Tower, wind 230 at 12, gusting 18, clear to land runway 24.
Cleared runway 24, Mike Victor Uniform. And minimums. Can you see the runway, Julie?
I can.
Okay.
Confirmed. Can't see the sock.
No.
but I'm familiar with the wind. Drifting snow is quite lovely.
It is.
Well done, Glen.
Mike Victor Uniform, tower exit Bravo 4, contact ground 121 decimal 8 off runway.
Exit Bravo 4, contact ground 1 off, Mike Victor Uniform.
Mirabel ground, Foxtrot Mike Victor Uniform on Bravo 4, requesting taxi to Helibelu.
Mike Victor Uniform, ground taxi Bravo 4, Bravo and Kilo to the main apron. The entrance of the FBO is via the main apron on the left-hand side.
Bravo 4, Bravo, Kilo, main apron, and the entrance is on the left side, Mike Victor Uniform.
Really windy out there.
It is.
Jay.
Mirabel Sol, ici Airbus Canus 328.
On va avec 3-8, Mirabel Sol.
Airbus Canus 328, on
there's
avait ça. Une baie d'attente pour des essais moteurs à haute puissance et côte basse avec des arrêts possibles pour faire des no-wheel steering.
328, seul, circuler Bravo jusqu'à la baie d'attente 2-4.
Circuler Bravo sur la baie d'attente 2-4.
And I've got this blanket that goes around the engine to try to keep it warm while we're on the ground. Like it never there. The other end the engine heater draws 700 watts and that EcoFlow will run this for 3 hours. The engine the wind is blowing like you would not believe. And I've got this blanket that goes around the engine to try to keep it warm while we're on the ground.